Welcome to the 2015 Bike and Pedestrian Count, brought to you by the Thomas Jefferson Planning District Commission in partnership with the City of Charlottesville, Albemarle County, the University of Virginia, and local bike and pedestrian advocates. This video provides count instructions for the intersection of Jefferson Park Avenue and University Avenue, which turns into West Main Street to the east. This is shown as location 4 on this map. It is a very important location for this effort as it is a gateway to the university. It also lies between the university and the downtown area. And thirdly, there have been recent improvements to this intersection that were intended to improve pedestrian traffic and bike traffic. This is a T intersection with 3 legs or streets that enter this location. On the west, you have University Avenue, which then turns into West Main Street, and to the south, you have Jefferson Park Avenue. Just to the east, you have the hospital, and off-frame to the west, you have the University of Virginia and their central grounds. Here are a few features to get you familiar with the site. You can see that there are 2 crosswalks, one going across West Main Street on that northeastern leg of the intersection, and another one spanning JPA. This is a picture looking west. You can see the crosswalk and traffic moving through the intersection. There's a new children's hospital on the eastern corner of this intersection. This will definitely increase pedestrian traffic at the intersection, and you may notice a lot of people coming out of this building and utilizing the intersection. So positioning yourself where you can see this traffic moving through the intersection related to this building would be important. Here's another picture of the intersection looking west towards the UVA corner. You can see the crosswalks going across JPA, as well as the traffic moving through the intersection. When conducting this count, we recommend that volunteers stand on the northern part of the intersection by the Baptist Church. This will provide clear sight lines of the entire intersection. In the count, volunteers will record the number of pedestrians, as well as the number of bicycles and their movements through this intersection. There's another roadway, 13th Street, which is located near this intersection. Make sure that you do not count pedestrians and bikes on this area of the roadway, as this is outside of the intersection defined here. This is the bike count form, where volunteers will record the number and movement of cyclists through the intersection. There are 6 boxes in this diagram representing the various turning movements in the intersection. When a cyclist passes through this location, make a tick mark in the appropriate box indicating the movement and the direction from which the cyclist approached. For example, if a cyclist approached from the west on University Avenue and turned right onto JPA, volunteer would include a tick mark on box A2. If a cyclist approached from the east on West Main Street, passing directly through the intersection onto University Avenue, volunteer would include a tick mark in box B1. Volunteers are asked to conduct these counts in 15-minute increments to provide a more detailed breakdown of the counts. Every 15 minutes, start a new form and make sure to indicate the time on each sheet. This effort records the number of people on bikes, not the number of bicycles. For example, in the picture on the left, there are 2 individuals on this bicycle. Consequently, the volunteer would include 2 marks on the form. The picture to the right shows 5 people, which includes an infant. This would count as 5 in the bike form. Also, we will ask volunteers to count all cyclists, even those riding on the sidewalk. Collecting counts on pedestrians is more basic. Volunteers will not record the turning movements, but the total number of pedestrians. These marks will go into a box on the form apart from the intersection diagram. No matter the turning movement in the intersection, each pedestrian will count as 1 in the sidebar. Also, we ask that volunteers conduct these counts in 15-minute increments, using a new form every 15 minutes. Make sure to indicate the time on each sheet. When conducting the pedestrian count, make sure to include people in wheelchairs and children in strollers. For people on skateboards or rollerblades, mark those individuals as other on the form. When volunteers arrive at the site, they should bring a copy of the count instructions, the location map, and most importantly, the count form with the intersection diagram. If you would like to borrow a clipboard, please visit the TJPDC offices to check one out. Also, make sure to bring extra pens or pencils, along with the contact information of the project lead, Will Cockrell, in case someone on site inquires about the count and would like to learn more. Bring sunscreen, snacks, and water, especially if you're counting for more than an hour. Finally, make sure to have a watch or cell phone to keep track of those 15-minute increments. Once you've reached the site, become familiar with your surroundings. If you ever feel unsafe, stop counting and leave the location. Your safety is our priority. Also, it's best to arrive 15 minutes before your time slot, allowing yourself time to assess the intersection and review the count form. This may also allow time to interact with a volunteer from the previous time slot and ask about difficulties he or she experienced with these counts. For more information, visit the project website. You can find detailed count instructions and forms for the different locations, frequently asked questions, and other important information. If you would like to sign out a clipboard or pick up copies of the forms, please visit the TJPDC offices at 401 East Water Street. The project lead is Will Cockrell. You can contact him for additional assistance or questions about the counts. We would like to thank all of our volunteers for their efforts. This information will be critical for identifying and prioritizing bike and pedestrian projects in our area. We greatly appreciate your time and look forward to seeing your counts. Thank you.